Christmas is around the corner and there's only one thing that Arsenal fans want from Santa: 3 points on Friday, with another massive game against Ipswich Town. Today we'll get the breaking news on Bukayo Saka, find out how Arsenal will respond, which right forward could they be signing in January. We'll also get a breakdown on Mikel Arteta's brand new system, and find out who could be starting in Arsenal's final game of 2024. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Pass14, welcome back to Boys Channel, and I hope you guys are doing sensational. A Merry Christmas to anyone that celebrates it, and I'm sure Arsenal fans have a lot of demands for Santa. But all I can ask from you guys is to smash a like on the video if you enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Help your boy on his road to 300,000 subscribers. But starting off with the breaking Arsenal news, with only one place to start off, and that is the fitness of our star boy Bukayo Saka, Mikel Arteta's main man this season, with the second most assists in the Premier League, the most big chances created, 24 minutes into Arsenal's last game. With Saka going in for a cross, he pulled up holding his hamstring, taken off with so much uncertainty. Mikel Arteta confirmed after the game that it wasn't looking that good, and now he confirmed some devastating news, saying for Bukayo Saka it's not looking good. He is going to be out for many weeks. It's a huge blow, but it's going to be a big exercise for us to overcome another challenge. Having already lost his captain for 2 months this season, he is now without his star boy, with reports claiming this is a grade 2 hamstring injury, ruling Bukayo Saka out for 6 to 8 weeks. According to TalkSport, he won't be back until at least February, with even the reliable team losing tick saying, people are reporting that it will be 8 weeks, but I am told that is a bare minimum. The likelihood is we won't see him until March. A range of reports claiming 4 to 8 weeks. Bukayo could miss up to 13 games, from United at home in the FA Cup, to Spurs at home in the North London derby, City at home in the Premier League. The unfortunate news that Arsenal fans did not want to hear, with some saying it's been a long time coming, having played over 25,000 minutes for Arsenal at just 23 years of age. In history, the only player that played anywhere near that is Chelsea's Eden Hazard, a player that retired at the age of only 32. There is no denying that Arsenal have been over-reliant, as Mikel Arteta says it's an accumulation of seasons. For example, Bukayo and Declan, they've played over 130 games in 2 seasons. So what's going to happen in the second one, third or fourth one? Probably it's unsustainable, unless we find ways to physically turn them into monsters that can cope with anything. The fact that you have to play and recover is not a good pattern, because that means that you don't train and the muscle needs to train. You just play and recover, you start to lose a lot of factors, a lot of qualities within your body, the physical aspects that are key to your performance, not just to play not to get injured, but become a better athlete. With demands from fans to compete in every single competition, alongside each player's natural desire to play as many games as possible, you then think about the Euros for England as well. Bukayo and Declan both integral parts of their country. There is no denying that more players are getting injured than ever before. The prime example being Man City and Rodri. Injuries have always been a part of football, but with more competitive games than ever before, season after season it is definitely unforgiving. But also for Bukayo himself, it's going to be a major blow. Having been so reliable for Arsenal for such a long period of time, he enjoyed an amazing season so far of 24 games, 9 goals and 13 assists. But for Arsenal themselves, there's also a bigger question. By taking out a player that has the most goals and assists under Mikel Arteta's entire reign as an Arsenal manager, in the middle of a title race where you're already 6 points off the pace, how on earth are Arsenal going to cope? Well, in terms of one player that could have replaced him in Raheem Sterling, Mikel Arteta confirms that he will also be out for weeks. He has just suffered an injury and it's his knee. He will be assessed again in the next few days to understand how long he'll be out for. Potentially the most natural replacement in our squad, a player that's proven to play on the right hand side, and brought to Arsenal for this exact scenario. Someone else is going to have to step up, with Arsenal's top contributors so far this season after Bukayo being Jesus, Martinelli, Odegaard, Havertz and Trossard. Even in terms of Mikel Arteta, when asked about January signings, he goes, my intention is right now to get the best of what we have. But who exactly is going to play on the right hand side? Well, Mikel says I'm putting some ideas together. We'll be doing some new things as we did when Odegaard was out. Gabi has played there, likewise Wanyeri and Trossard. Also Havertz can play there. We will talk internally and see what is the best solution. A lot of names thrown there, but for me 2 names stand out: Gabriel Martinelli and Ethan Wanyeri. In terms of Martinelli having played there against Crystal Palace, if you cast your minds back to last season and our final must-win game against Everton at the Emirates Stadium where Bukayo Saka was missing, Mikel Arteta once again turned to Gabriel Martinelli, producing a fantastic performance and an 8.0 rating, with 2 out of 2 dribbles, 5 key passes and 2 big chances created. As Mikel Arteta says himself, he's played there before and he's done really well. He scored a goal and created an assist, and this is a good option to have. Having struggled on the left-hand side so far this season, playing him on the right-hand side might make Martinelli's job a lot simpler. Being a natural right footer, able to take on fullbacks on the outside, uses pace in a straight line, with the support of a natural left footer like Martin Odegaard next to him. Pairing a left foot and right footer creates a natural balance. But then you also have Ethan Wanyeri, more like Saka in the fact that he's left footed, able to cut inside, alongside the ability to burst past his players with natural pace. At 18 years of age, I don't think he'll be Mikel Arteta's starter there, but coming off the bench is an option. Trying to replicate a Bukayo Saka dynamic, Ethan is definitely going to be an option. But what about Arsenal's bigger picture? With the January transfer window only a week away, will they dip into the market? Because as Mikel Arteta says, we started the season with one of the thinnest squads in the Premier League, which if you go all the way back to last January, he said the exact same thing. We have one of the thinnest squads in the league, and that's for sure. When you talk about numbers, especially in certain areas, we are really thin. A year later, Arsenal in the exact same boat. People talk about the fact that Arteta spent so much money, but when looking at the amount of money spent by teams during Mikel Arteta's 5 years, Arsenal actually only ranked 4th, behind Spurs, Man United and Chelsea, with Chelsea themselves spending €1.6 billion. And when you really think about it, most of our investments have been in midfield and defensively, from major signings like Ben White, then the arrivals of Calafiori and Timber, to the midfield arrivals of Partey and Rice. There is no denying that we have severely underinvested in terms of the forward line. But with the window so close to opening, the question then becomes, will Arsenal be signing a winger? And who will that player be? Well, according to reports all the way back to October, Mikel Arteta appreciates the Bournemouth player Antoine Semenyo, with people at the club viewing Semenyo as a backup for Bukayo Saka. With 5 goals for Bournemouth so far this season, for an Arsenal team that needs more ball carriers, Semenyo thrives at that. 2.3 dribbles per game so far this season, at a very impressive 63% success rate, numbers higher than both Saka and Martinelli. 24 years of age, a full Ghana international. If you ever watch Semenyo play, the one thing you notice straight away is how explosive he is, able to use his power when it comes to bursting past players. A fantastic threat on the counter-attack, while also being a forward that's comfortable all across the front line. Semenyo wouldn't be a ceiling raiser, but with a level of versatility, he would definitely raise the floor of our attack. The profile itself makes a lot of sense, but the issue for Arsenal is going to be the price tag. Having signed a new 5-year contract at Bournemouth only back in July, we're talking a minimum of £50 to £60 million, and that's if they want to sell him in January. But if we're talking about wide forwards that thrive on the right hand side and have Premier League experience, there might be a potential opportunity at Brentford. We're talking about Brian Mbeumo, who according to reports, Arsenal are set to rival Newcastle in the race to sign the Brentford forward. And there's many reasons why this will make a lot of sense, entering his 4th year as a Premier League player, with 10 goals in 17 appearances so far this season, having created more big chances than Martin Odegaard, entering the peak of his powers at 25 years of age. The standout thing is his contract, expiring in only 18 months' time, having yet to sign a brand new Brentford contract. Looking to play for a Champions League club, if Brentford know that he's going to leave, this window is going to be the best chance for them to cash in. And Mbeumo would definitely be a fantastic signing for Arsenal, but looking to be a guaranteed starter no matter where he goes, thriving mainly on the right hand side. In the short term, he definitely would help Bukayo, but going into the longer term, where would he play? Very much unproven as a left winger. Will Arsenal be looking for a more versatile forward instead, with the standout name on Arsenal fans' lips being a certain Mohammed Caicedo, having thrived on the left and right hand side for West Ham, with the recent report from Alex Krog confirming that West Ham are willing to cash in on Kudus if they receive a big money bid in January, and that Arsenal could be weighing up a transfer. Kudus' profile is almost close to perfection, not only because he'd offer Arsenal an elite ball carrier that we don't currently have, leading all of Europe with take-ons completed in 2024, but also because he could raise our ceiling, giving Arsenal a different type of forward, with individual brilliance to burst past his players, alongside being a very good finisher in front of goal, with 17 goals last season. There's a reason why Mikel Arteta wanted this player in the past. He's definitely a player that Arsenal have genuine interest in, but with an £85 million release clause, will Arsenal be spending that sort of money in January? Or instead will they look for a market opportunity, in a window that's often less about who you want, and more about who's available? In terms of market opportunities, the one player that stands out is the castaway Marcus Rashford, reportedly available for £40 million. A recent report from Samuel Mokwell confirmed Rashford featured on a list of potential Arsenal signings back in the summer, but at that time the cost of signing Rashford meant also did not pursue their interest. Then when Mikel Arteta was asked about the player, he says, "I want to work players that are from other clubs. It would definitely be a very unpopular option. Yes, he can play the right hand side, but he's far better on the left. But there is no denying that Arsenal do need a wide forward. So with Bukayo out for potentially 8 weeks, comment down below what wide forward do you want to see Arsenal sign. But what about the strikers? Well, according to Sammy Mokwell, Arsenal and Arteta are prepared to move for a big striker, but they haven't decided what particular striker they should go for, as factors like age, injuries and transfer fees will be considered before making any final decision. In terms of the options, according to Mokwell, Alexander Isak remains high on Arsenal's summer shopping list, with Šeško still being monitored. Victor Gyökeres is also on the list, however Arsenal have some reservations. Šeško makes sense, but it's more about potential. For Gyökeres, the reservations are all about form. Could he translate his form to the Premier League? One player that has done it though, of course, is Alexander Isak, with 6 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 Premier League games, with a hat-trick on the weekend against Ipswich, showing his goal-poaching ability. This for me is going to be Arsenal's #1 target, because in terms of pure quality and individual brilliance, he is the best player on the current market, refusing to sign a brand new Newcastle contract. With potentially no Champions League football next season, there's a very good chance that he leaves, but that is most likely going to be in the summer. For me, if Arsenal are going to sign a forward in January, he is far more likely to be a wide forward instead of a marquee striker. All you have to do is go off our history. Yes, in January you have made massive offers. Think about Vlahovic, Mudryk and Caicedo. There's often a clear strategy behind it. Arsenal aren't scared to spend money, but they will only go for their A-list targets. Players they want in the summer but they think they can get in January, with any other deals being short-term ones instead. But when you're 6 points off the pace and demand is growing, regardless of who they want to sign, ambition will need to be shown in this window. Moving on to Arteta's brand new system, because we can talk about transfers all we want, but right now we can only work with what we have. So in terms of the game against Crystal Palace, smashing 5 past them in a fantastic victory, we saw a brand new system from Mikel Arteta, the 3-3 diamond, with Timber, Saliba and Gabriel forming a back three, and a diamond midfield of Miles Skelly, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz. A far more attacking setup that definitely gave Arsenal an offensive edge, with the idea of maximising the strengths of Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard, with Kai having now delivered 28 goals and assists since the start of last season, the same amount as Phil Foden, while able to drop in midfield and do the defensive job. Going forwards he was playing as a roaming number 10, drifting alongside Gabriel Jesus, with the idea of maximising his spatial awareness, able to find spaces inside the box and capitalise. The example of course being his goal, free from both centre-backs who were occupied by Jesus. With natural awareness, Havertz was able to poach in a goal. This is almost a glimpse into the future, having thrived for Bayer Leverkusen in a very similar role, picking up the pieces behind his striker. There is no denying that Arsenal will go for a striker going forwards, but the idea is not to replace Havertz, but to play the forward alongside him. Think about Man City last season, games of Julian Alvarez alongside Erling Haaland. It seems more and more like Mikel Arteta is turning towards a front two, with the striker being more of a box poacher instead, perfectly shown by the heat map of Gabriel Jesus. When his first ever Arsenal game in the Premier League against Crystal Palace, his heat map was all over the place. You then go to the game over the weekend, and you'll notice his main amount of touches were actually coming inside the box, by dropping Odegaard deeper in the build-up phase, with Havertz also being able to link up play. Jesus is no longer required to play as a false 9, instead keeping himself inside the box, where he's able to be a far bigger goal threat. By using this diamond, Mikel Arteta as maximising the profiles that he has, with the other one being of course Martin Odegaard, dropping deeper outside the block, able to progress play from areas that he thrives in most. But in terms of the system itself, it definitely comes with risks, the main one being defensively. With the amount of attacking players that Arsenal have, it puts a lot of work on the number 6. That's why Partey was struggling. An system that requires the 6 to have elite mobility, cover massive amounts of distances, almost tailor-made for our £105 million Declan Rice, defensively able to play as a number 6 at a very high level, against teams that play deeper and make it difficult. With more attackers, Arsenal definitely more dangerous, able to revert back to a midfield three of Rice and Partey in big games that require more defensive stability. But the question is, will it help in the title race? After Liverpool beat Tottenham 6-3, creating a whopping XG of 9.4, there is no denying they are the most informed team in Europe, with only 1 loss all season and 3 draws. They have won every single other game, with a potential all-timer in Mo Salah, who has now got 25 goals and assists already this season, contributing a whopping 71% to Liverpool's entire tally, levels in the Premier League that we've never seen before, with Alan Shearer's 59% in 94-95 being the highest percentage of goal involvements of a single player. You can ask questions about if that's sustainable, but so far it has been. Results-wise, Liverpool right now are playing at an all-time level. But my question to you guys is, will they keep this pace for the entire season? Because in terms of Arsenal, they got a game on Friday. Newly promoted Ipswich coming to the Emirates Stadium, 19th in the league with only 2 wins so far this season, but having beaten Spurs away. With forwards like Liam Delap and Amari Hutchinson, they can't be taken lightly. In terms of Arsenal and the team news without Bukayo Saka, thankfully you've got the returning Ricardo Calafiori, with the major dilemma over him or Miles Skelly. For Arsenal, this is our final game of 2025, with a hectic start to the new year of 11 games in just 35 days. From games against Brentford and Brighton away, to a Carabao Cup semi-final against Newcastle home and away. We're about to learn so much about this Arsenal side, without potentially the most important player. Is Mikel Arteta going to be able to adapt? Saying for us the title race is absolutely on. It's still very early. Let's keep going and winning games. That is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all over social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of the latest Arsenal news today. I had a very hectic schedule. Hopefully you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and hopefully on Friday, Santa has 3 points for us. Until then, I'll see you next time. Take care and a bit.